Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. All right, you may wonder why I'm a little bit dressed up. I just got done filling out a couple of applications for two different companies, and one of them had an entirely new approach to doing interviews. I've never seen anyone do this before, but it was actually very innovative. They contacted me immediately after I filled out the application and said, "You got an interview." And basically the interview was online. And so I had to go on to my laptop and I had to go onto a computer that had a camera and a microphone on it. And what would actually happen is that there would be a written question, and then I would have to have up to 3 minutes to record a video response. So it's just like having a real interview, only you're not actually in the room with somebody. You can just do it right there in your own home. So I figured, since I was, going to be seen and not just read about, I figured I probably ought to, at least dress up somewhat nice. And I actually shot the interview in the same location that I normally do my live streams, with the Texas flag and the Christmas lights in the background. I didn't actually have the Christmas lights on, but I decided, that would be a good place to do it. And it was kind of interesting. And just like usual when I do the live streams, when Byte heard me setting up downstairs on the laptop, he was down here, and right before I started recording, he was up there on the couch. So in the whole time that the interview was going on, Byte was in the background sleeping. He just knows when I'm on the couch and the laptop is on that he's probably going to get some kitty treats. So anyway, like I said, I thought that was interesting. It was a little bit intimidating. You'd think with all the live streams that I've done that I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with it, but it was really like the pressure of doing a real job interview. And they asked me, kind of questions like, how I thought how I thought my skills would benefit the company, in cases where I had to get a whole bunch of people, give an example where I had to get a whole bunch of people on board to support a project, the kind of questions that you normally get in an interview. Fortunately, they gave you a couple opportunities to do it, so if you botched up your first recording, they'd give you a second chance to try again. And got to the point where I kind of knew where I was going the first time. So the first couple recordings I had to shoot a couple times, because what they do is they ask the question and then the camera starts going in 30 seconds. Well, if you don't like that, then you can take another shot at it, and there isn't the countdown, that 30-second countdown. So, I kind of babbled my way through the first take on it, and then if I wanted to shoot it again, then I would try again. But I made it through the process. It was kind of interesting. And now I kind of feel like I want to just get out and stretch my legs a little bit. So I kind of found an area down in Cameron Park that maybe has just some kind of interesting things to look at. So we're going to go down there, and it's going to be kind of serving two purposes. One, I want to see how this new microphone works. And two, it's just going to be an opportunity to get a little leg stretching done. So let's go. All right, so here we are down along the Brazos River. It's really nice down here. This is down here along Cameron Park. I've walked around here a bunch of times, never been in this specific place. But the thing that kind of caught my attention actually was two things I wanted to see here. As I've driven by here a few times, I have noticed that there's a sign that says something about Jacob's Ladder. And I wasn't sure what that was all about, and then I saw some pictures of it, and I said, oh wow, I gotta check this thing out. Now, most of us, when we think of Jacob's Ladders, we think of either that movie from the 90s or something like that, or if we're a little older than that, we remember the old sci-fi movies in the 50s where they had that device with the two pieces of metal wire that stuck up in kind of a V pattern, and electricity walked its way up the top of it. Yeah, that's what an actual Jacob's Ladder is. But in this case, Jacob's Ladder is up here and right ahead of us. And this is it here. Now we're going to climb it in a minute, but there's a little display over here that talks about the history of it. So we're going to go look at that first. All right, so this is the thing here. It says basically, are you ready for a challenge? Climbing Jacob's Ladder and counting the number of steps are two of Cameron Park's most beloved traditions. James Sturgis built the original ladder in the early 1900s. The ladder provided the Sturgis family and Waco Country Club which became the clubhouse in 1920, with easy access to the river from the top of the bluff. Constructed of wood, the steep ladder climbed straight up the rocky slope. In 1960, the city constructed rock shelter to give visitors a place to rest and enjoy the river. 3 years later, the park's crew replaced the aging wooden ladder. The crew designed and built a zigzag concrete stairs on the site. The ladder was renovated in 2009, and the cedar arches at the top and bottom of the ladder were built using wood from the park. The quirky stairs are one of Cameron Park's favorite features, while rock shelter serves as the main entrance to the trail system. So yeah, that's what the thing looks like now. And this is actually a picture of it from around 1920. Now I actually came down this thing because I parked up the top of the hill, and it's a hard climb coming down because the individual steps are not very consistent. You know, and you think of steps, you know, they're usually in a house, steps are usually about 8 or 10 inches, and they're very consistent. Not so here. Some of the steps are like a 12-inch or 24-inch drop down. So let's go climb this thing. By the way, one of the things the sign said is that people like to count the number of steps. I'm a little bit obsessive compulsive like that, so I counted the steps on the way down. There's 88 of them. All right, I had to wait a few minutes to get some people out of the way, but here we go. So you look at these steps, they're all inconsistent. It actually is a little bit misleading right at the beginning because they're actually relatively normal, but when you get up to here, then, you know, some of these steps are... You really got to watch your step here. You can hurt yourself. And most of the people aren't doing it holding onto a camera. And then I guess they built in a couple of like seats and stuff here. All right, let's continue the hike here. So that's it. For some few stairs, I'm tired. That's a bit of a workout. So this is the old clubhouse, well, the new clubhouse. I guess this is where the family came down. The Sturgises came down here. I guess they lived up here. And then right across the street is actually the first thing that I was going to come look at today, and it was only when I found this that I discovered that Jacob's Ladder was here, and I decided to check that out too. And this place is called Miss Nellie's Pretty Place. And some of the pictures down here were pretty neat, so I just figured we'd kind of walk around here to see what to look at. Yeah, there it is, Miss Nellie's Pretty Place. Nice little fountain in the middle that isn't running right now. Looks like it'd be kind of a fun place to kind of hang out, you know, maybe do a little theater or something down here. Maybe concerts in the park. No swimming, but that's exactly what I wanted to do in here. And I found this little plaque here. It says Miss Nellie's Pretty Place. W.R. Bob Poge, former U.S. Congressman from Waco, was a man strongly attached to the history and its meaning for us today. He had a lifetime love affair with the land of Central Texas and the people who made their living from that land. To Texans and people throughout the nation, he was known as Mr. Agriculture. In the fall of 1984, Bob Poage demonstrated his commitment to preserving both the past and the land, gave the initial funding to the city of Waco to create a wildflower garden in Cameron Park in memory of his mother, Miss Nellie Conger Poage. Mr. Poage passed away on January 3rd, 1987, and the park was dedicated on April 11th, 1987. Though he never saw the completion of his dream, through his generosity, he provided a permanent endowment for the care of this pretty place. There you go. So let's just wander around there and see what we can see. Just because I'm probably not going to do a lot of talking here, I'm going to disconnect the mic and let the omnidirectional mic pick up all the sounds in the area. Get off the trail a little bit so you're not just hearing my footsteps. Wildflowers in progress. Please remain on the trails. I guess that just means you're going to have to listen to my footsteps. Guess this is their greenhouse here where they kind of start things out. And of course we got kind of a cool trail going off into the woods here, so let's check that out. It's a nice day to be walking out here. It's about mid-60s, there's no breeze and a lot of sun. Guess it goes for a ways that way, but this one seems to curve back towards the to the flower garden, so let's head back that way. Don't want to get too far away. These benches kind of looking down into the gorge here. Let's see what's down here. I always find it interesting how quiet it is back in places like this and how much you can hear from so far away. I keep hearing what sounds like a rooster and people talking. Keep heading back down the trail here. Nice little bridge out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing we get runoff here when it rains. That's that greenhouse. just in case anyone's wondered if I got lost or anything back here. Spoiler alert, if you watch this video, that means I made it home to edit it and upload it, so. Yeah, back up here again. Come again and bring a friend. These things with all the red berries, they're all over the place out here. And all over the place in here too. Everything looks really bare right now because I think it all drops its leaves in the winter. These things with all the blueberries are all over the place too. Some beautiful houses out here. Yeah, that's just somebody's house. There's one over there being built. I bet you'd like to meet Jaw, wouldn't you? So I hope you enjoyed our little visit through Nellie's pretty place and Jacob's Ladder in Cameron Park. That's all I think I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.